quilting, I was introduced to the rotary cutter, and it dramatically changed my entire world. It's changed the quilting industry for almost every quilter that is out there today. Westerly Design, when they designed the ruler foot, they dramatically have changed that way quilters are quilting. Long armers have had rulers for a long time, but our domestic quilters were at a disadvantage. We've never had those amazing products that could advance our skills. I have so many people say that I can't free motion, that I don't know how to do it, that I'm no good at it. Ruler work is not free motion, it's guided motion. I already know where I'm going, and all I have to focus on is just keeping the foot attached to the ruler until I'm at the end of the line. So it's really a big advancement, helping people to make their quilts as beautiful as they want and really changing the level of skill that our domestic quilters are going to see.
Hi, it's Stacy with Sew Steady, and we are so excited to have you join us today, where we're going to be kicking off one of our new amazing Sew Steady tables. We are showing off our new colorful table in blue today, guys. And not only are we showing that off today, but we're also going to be giving you a chance to win it. All you have to do is you have to like, comment, and share this post. And once we get to 500, we are going to go ahead and announce a winner. So like, comment, share. That is going to have to be in Facebook, unfortunately. So if you're watching us from YouTube, head over to the link. We've got it on there, or just head over to our Facebook Live page and you will be able to enter to win. It's Sew Steady Facebook Live. In addition to that, we've got this gorgeous, wonderful, amazing Sew Steady accredited teacher that is joining us today by the name of Geraldine Wilkins, and she has been with us for so long. So she is going to be sharing all of her amazing education and a little trunk show of quilts and everything else that she has created. We are just so excited to have you here today, Dena, and we're going to be diving into learning more about Dena and all that she has to be able to offer us. So Dena, I'm going to just give you like maybe a quick 30 seconds to tell people why you're super excited to be here, and then we'll head over. We're going to show everybody the amazing Sew Steady table and why they want this gorgeous blue table, and a couple other promotions we've got going with our tables right now, and then we'll head back over to the interview. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Geraldine Wilkins, also known as Dena. Some of you know me as Dena, and I'm the living water quilter. I love quilting. I am addicted. I started with free motion quilting and then heard about Westerly acrylic rulers, and I haven't looked back. So I hope to share more of that with you a little bit later. Don't leave, stay, hang out. I have a couple of things I want to share with you to help get you inspired with acrylic ruler quilting.
Thank you so much, Dena. We are so excited to be able to have you show everyone your work because it is stunning. You're going to learn a couple of other things about Dena that are going to make even more sense why it's so stunning. So again, go ahead and we're going to share now our gorgeous, amazing, brand new blue acrylic table. So this is a table that you kind of got a teaser of during the holidays because we made this table in what we call our Versa form. So we did a holiday bling package and we made it a lot smaller. So this is a 17 and a half by 22 size table. So it's basically like our large table. And so I'm going to be showing you not just this gorgeous table, but I'm also going to show you how to set it up on your machine because it's super simple and it's something that anyone can do. And we're going to give you a few tips along the way, and then we'll share with you a couple of additional opportunities that you might have for accessories that you can't live without with this table. So I'm just opening this up. We've got a little plastic, so excuse the extra noise. It comes with a leg bag. I'm going to show you some of the goodies inside that leg bag in a minute. But let's watch this gorgeous blue table come out of this. Look at that, guys. Isn't that just beautiful? So what's nice about this table, and some folks really love our clear acrylic tables because they love seeing through them. This table is still very, very clear. You can see through it, you can see me, but it does have that gorgeous blue edge. Isn't that stunning? And so if you're a blue color lover, or you think that this would look stunning in your sewing room, maybe because you have a machine with some blue highlights, or just because you just know that this is going to make you happier in your sewing room every day, then this is going to be a great table choice for you. So again, this is, tell us what you think, because that's an opportunity to win. You're going to like, comment, and share, telling us what you think about this gorgeous blue table, and I'm going to work on putting it together on this machine here. So I've got a an Everstone machine, or tape machine, and so what you may not know about our Sew City tables is that they are made to fit every single machine we have on the market. So we have over 3,000 different designs in our CAD studio, or in our CAD system, and then we CNC cut these to fit the shape of your machine. And sometimes that shape can be a little tricky. So because some machines have nice contours and bevels and curves, and so we're going to make it so it fits really with the goal of having your table perfectly level at the sewing machine area, which is ideal for ruler work. So that's going to be something that you're going to be really into as we're kind of diving a little bit more into what Dena is all about here, which is making a lot of amazing ruler work education and free motion. In addition to the 5 legs that this table comes with, that's 4 pop-on legs to our buttons here, and then 1 suction cup leg. We are also including this polish kit now. This polish kit comes in every single table that we sell. So it's just a little sample of polish, but it makes it so you can get your table up and running and ready for doing ruler work and free motion right out of the gate. You don't have to add anything to it. So because our tables are smooth, but they're not necessarily slick, you definitely want slick when you're doing any kind of free motion or ruler work. So I'm just going to pop on these legs. And one of the tricks before you pop on the legs onto the table is that you want to go ahead and height adjust that leg. So it's about 1/4 inch below the free arm of the machine. And that's just going to make it so then when you pop it on, it's ready to go. And you don't have to kind of micro adjust all the legs separately. So once I adjust one of those legs to about 1/4 inch, and I've got a good eyeball on 1/4 inch now because we work a lot with 1/4 inch stuff, like acrylic rulers and all that. So, but you can always take out a measuring tape if you want, or you can kind of see the thickness of this table because the table is 1/4 inch, and that's why we do that. So now I'm height adjusting all of these legs, and this is an adjuster. It's just a kind of a screw post that comes on these legs to be able to give you that micro adjusting opportunity, because even sometimes you're sitting your machine, maybe it's on a card table because you're at an event or something like that. You're going to potentially need to micro adjust those legs in different locations. So I've gone ahead and adjusted those legs to fit just perfectly. I'm popping them on, and remember, these buttons come on the table. Never take a screwdriver to our Sew Steady tables because they are meant to just always stay on there. So as long as you keep those attached, all you're going to do when you go to take this table home is you're going to remove the legs just by a wiggle, 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 take them off, and then put them in a bag, and you're ready to go ahead and kind of pack that table up for the next adventure or for storage. So now I've gone ahead and popped on my legs. So now it's as simple as flipping it on to the machine. So I'm going to go ahead and slide it onto the machine here. And look at that. It's gorgeous. Everything fits perfect. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out is, can you see this okay right here, Talia? Mm-hmm. Perfect. This area is going up and over the machine right here because this machine has the contours. It slopes downward in front. And so because of that, we've made it so the table goes up and over the machine. Now notice it's perfectly level right at the free arm area, but it's going up and over the machine right here. We can't contour our Sew Steady tables. They're a flat plane. So it's going to go up and over the machine to be able to maximize your acrylic surface and be able to minimize the gap that's going to be there if it were to go ahead and just cut around the machine itself. So we just went up and over a little bit. I can get a little bit closer on the camera to show you that in a minute. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've got our gorgeous blue table on. You can see the beautiful highlights right there along the edge of the table. Now we're going to put on our gorgeous, not so gorgeous, our extra leg. And so we always recommend putting that extra leg for support anywhere where you're going to go ahead and be putting a little extra pressure in your sewing while you're doing your sewing. So I usually recommend a lot of extra pressure is going to usually be right in front of the needle area. So I usually recommend putting your extra leg right there. So here you have it. This is our beautiful new colorful blue Sew Steady table. Available to you. The retail price on that is just $189. Visit our stores though, because all of our retailers nationwide can offer sales and potentially even free shipping. So I definitely encourage you to go to find a retailer near you and get this on order from them, or better yet, win it. All you have to do is like, comment, and share to win. The other item that I wanted to share with you today is our amazing spinner tray. This is our promotion this quarter. Now, this is available if you're purchasing a new Sew Steady table. Maybe you got a new machine, maybe you got a new used machine, but you don't have an extension table for it. And you're gonna want one because these amazing extension tables allow you to do things like free motion and ruler work with complete ease. Everything is flat, sewing surface ready to go for you. And you can see through it, so you can store all your goodies down there, and you don't have to wonder where the scissors went and all the other things that you were looking for. So this is our spinner tray. If you purchase a Sew Steady table, you get this new spinner tray for just $10. 50% off. Regularly it's $20 for a spinner tray. And why would you want a spinner tray? Well, let me show you. So when you have all those little things, maybe it's the pens, the needles, all the things that you don't want to lose, maybe it's the polish kit, you're going to want to keep them nearby. So all you need to do is spin them under the table. And you can do that by putting one of our Sew Steady table legs through the hole in the spinner tray right there. And then you go ahead and attach it, reattach it to the table, and it's that easy. So our Sew Steady spinner tray is a must-have. It's actually one of our first accessories we ever brought to our Sew Steady table line, and it's because it's just such a simple option. And not only do you have this ability to spin it in and spin it out, keep everything there, but you also have the opportunity with a little magnet in the corner to keep your pens, your needles, all the things that maybe are going to kind of run all over that tray, corralled in one area. So instead of carrying around all your machine goodies in a yucky plastic bag, consider keeping them available in your spinner tray. And it's that easy. Now everything's organized and it's pretty. With your new blue table, you're going to absolutely love that combination. So go ahead and like, comment, and share. Tell us what you think about the spinner tray too. The first like, comments, and shares when we get to 500, we're going to be announcing a winner for our brand new Sew Steady Blue acrylic table. All right, so that's the excitement that I wanted to share with you today. Again, our Sew Steady tables are made to order any make and model of machine that you have, and they come in multiple sizes. Our 18 by 24, or this size, which is 18 by 22, best-selling size. Everybody loves that because it fits in most environments really nicely, and it's going to just be a really great option for being able to, take the classes and portable for use at home. So definitely highly recommend that, but you can check them all out on our website, and then you can pick them up in a retailer near you. If you choose that at checkout, you do get free shipping. So if you want to choose that option too, that's one of our one of our benefits is if you pick it up at a retailer near you, you get free shipping. All right, so enough about the Sew City tables. Let's talk about Dena. So I'm gonna have the camera go back over to Dena now. Tell you I'll have you help with that. And then Dena, I want you to show us some of your amazing quilting works of art. So I will have you go ahead and take us back over to Dena, and let's go ahead and check that out. There she is.
All right. Hey, everyone. This is Geraldine Wilkins again, also known as Dena. And I am an avid quilter. And I know you are too because you're watching and you love a good trunk show. This is a mini trunk show, but I think it's going to inspire you. Let's take a look at some of my quilts and mini quilts and practice sessions over the years, all with acrylic ruler quilting. Gradually, you'll see it change a little bit from ruler work with free motion quilting. Let's take a look. So this is a piece that I wanted to play. It's 1 fat quarter. Can you guess? Let us know in the chat. How many different westerly rulers do you see in this piece? There are several westerly rulers working to make this a beautiful whole cloth project. And now look at this texture. Again, westerly rulers. I love circles. Circles on top of circles. And of course, I had to add some free motion quilting. And this is a simple 9 patch that has been elevated because of the ruler work and free motion quilting. Let us know in the chat what rulers you see at work in my quilts. Now, this is a bed runner that goes from fall all the way to winter. And when we get to winter, what do we see? We see a beautiful snowflake. Yes, I love adding free motion quilting and ruler work together. And there are so many different acrylic rulers by Westerly that helps us to quilt our projects. This is a big quilt. I wanted you to see this one big, but now let's look up close. Do you notice the serpentine stitching? That's with, guess what? An acrylic ruler. That's right. Ruler work did all the quilting on this. We can be very detailed in our quilting, or we can keep it simple and light. We have that option. So I love having the ability to stitch beautiful curves with a serpentine ruler. What about this next quilt coming up? Let us know in the chat which are your favorite rulers that you are seeing at work in these projects. We are back at the snowflake template, which is one of my favorite. You know, there are different shapes. There's circles, there's diamonds, and this is all about the diamond shape. And look at how I place the acrylic designs in different places. Do you also see those little small areas where I did some quilting? That's the small, I think it's called spinifex. Stacy, you might have to correct me on that, but I think it's the small spinifex. And if you are a beginner, there's nothing wrong with starting with straight lines. Do you want to be able to quilt your project with straight lines without marking? All of this was quilted without marking. And we use what? We use the lines on the ruler. Every acrylic template ruler has reference lines that we can use to help us make beautiful designs, radiating lines, and crosshatch. Hopefully by now you are commenting and letting us know which acrylic rulers you are seeing in these designs. Look at
I
this
am
one.
seeing a lot of comments here. We did have a
Okay.
quick question come through. Someone
All
said,
right.
do you do ruler work first and then switch between rulers and free motion quilting as you go?
That's a good question. I'm going to stop it here and talk about this project to answer that question. For this one, I started with the ruler work. I used that to divide the space in the quilt, to segment and create space or framing for the free motion quilting. And now they're working together.
Okay, that's amazing. I mean, stunning work, honestly. And so we did have someone that said they saw snowflakes, feathers, and straight rulers and circles
All
all so
right.
far and what you've done. So I'm definitely getting a lot of ideas. Spinifex rulers for sure are being seen. Snowflakes and feathers, yes. Someone asked, did you have the paisley or was that free motion?
Free motion. Yep. So we're
Okay.
back at the beginning here again. Let me come back to my main camera, answer some more questions. Was that fun, ladies? Did you enjoy that short little trunk show? Are you inspired? I hope so.
I think they are absolutely inspired because you do some stunning work there, Dina. Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Really appreciate that. Um, Coming up, one of my favorite things to do is to teach at guilds, quilt shows, and of course online. But one that many people want to start with is a straight edge. I mentioned that earlier. And one of my favorite templates is the 12-inch arc.
Yes, absolutely. And that is definitely the ruler that we recommend everyone get started quilting with. It's just a really, really basic ruler. I can post a link to that if you're not familiar what that 12-inch arc looks like. But my guess is most of our viewers know exactly what the 12-inch arc is.
And it is
Bec-
so versatile. Let me
yeah.
show you how versatile it is. This is how I start many quilters, and I like to use pre-printed panels and quilt them all differently. I use multiple panels, quilt each one differently, but using only one template to see how creative we can be with this one template. And this is all stitched with the
Oh.
12-inch arc. Fantastic. Now we can change, right? Add different straight lines, add free motion quilting. The whole idea is to be inspired to do something different, to push ourselves creatively. And I think that's what a lot of us quilters struggle with. Sometimes we don't know how to quilt things. But when we use a small project like these are 12 inches, these panels, 12 inches is a quilt block. And I can stitch it in multiple ways with just one template. Hopefully, this is inspiring some of the ladies already who have the 12-inch arc.
I'm pretty sure that people are going to go back and watch this multiple times and be like, I saw something really cool that was done with that. And one of the things to point out too, and what Dina mentioned earlier, is that you get to do all of that 12-inch arc work with typically no markings. You do not have to mark ahead because the ruler itself has all of the markings on it to do the echoing, to ensure that you're, kind of consistent in your movement. And so that's, I mean, I don't want to go away from your screen to show them the 12-inch arc because your screen is so beautiful, Dina. So
Yeah, that's okay. I can always
yeah.
come back to it. Whatever you want to
Okay.
do,
Okay.
Stacy. Yeah, you can show it.
Okay. So this is the 12-inch arc ruler, and you can see right there, it's got all of these markings right there on the ruler. But what's the versatile part is it has both the straight line and the arcing line. So you can do so much with it when it comes to being able to do just kind of echoing and filling in and cross hatching and all of that jazz. So,
Well, I'm glad you showed that. You can actually go back to it because I want to share some additional points.
okay.
This is the beginner class that I teach at many quilt shows. And so I'll be teaching this at the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza. It's called Power Lines. And the reason is because I want to help quilters who are shy about ruler work to learn how to let the ruler do the work for them. And so the reference lines are important, and I want to show you how to use them so that you don't have to mark as much. Sometimes we have to mark a little bit, but most often we can use our seams in our project to help us with quilting along with the ruler lines.
Yes, absolutely. It's funny because I think one of the things that we really got excited about right when we pulled rulers and brought them to market was the idea that these rulers all have markings on them. So you can create designs without having to pre-mark fabric. But then, we came up with spin effects and we decided, the crosshair square and marking that to get points became really important. So we kind of lost sight of the idea that you can do this without marking. I love that you're teaching a class about that. That's awesome.
Yes, I love it too. And you make a valid point. Every ruler acrylic template has a different series of reference lines. They are all there to help us be creative. And that's one of my passions is that many of us have a library of Westerly rulers, but we haven't really taken time to learn how to use them so that we can create designs for borders, for blocks, edge to edge designs. I want to help you create multiple designs with each ruler. And I want to do that so that you can use the reference lines and minimize how much you mark on a quilt.
Oh, I
That's one of
love
my
that.
goals.
That's perfect because that's really teaching them how to finish their projects, right? And I love that you're using panels as well because again, you're really showing them what a true patchwork pattern might look like that you're trying to complete. So that's amazing. So Dina, I want to say that you've been an accredited teacher with us for almost 8 years. Is that true?
Let's see. I was introduced to it back in 2015.
Yes. Yes.
2015. Yes, I think that's when I started to learn about rulers at ruler foot. And then I think I sold Westerly for the first time and I called you.
Okay.
And I'm so thankful, Stacy, that you answered the phone.
Yeah. Well, I quickly realized that Dina had actually, I think you had been sharing some of your work on Facebook and stuff. So I quickly realized that Dina was very skilled and that we had the opportunity to work together and really see if we could do something with Westerly and have her help share that with the world. So it has definitely been an amazing partnership because Dina has, just created some gorgeous, gorgeous work. Now, I think you came to Eugene and you did a couple of different things. You did our accredited teacher process with Leonie West when she was
Yes, I
present.
sure did. Yep.
And then you also participated in our Coburg Quilt Show, where you came out and you helped teach and helped us host our one and only quilt show that we've ever hosted. You can do everything once, guys. Hosting a quilt show is definitely next level, and I'm not sure we'll ever do that again. But we really appreciated you coming out and being part of that and helping us, kind of get that off the ground. So, in your process, becoming an accredited teacher, I know you've had the opportunity to work with a lot of different brands and rulers and all of that. Is there anything that you would say that you really appreciate about the Westerly rulers over anything else?
Well, I think that Westerly changed the way we quilt as quilters, domestic quilters specifically. It really was at the forefront of changing the way we quilt, changing our experience, allowing us to be more creative. And for me, that has been a huge impact, not only in my quilting life as a quilter, but also as an educator. And as a result, I completely changed my focus. I still teach free motion quilting, but most of the time when you see me at quilt shows, other events, I'm teaching with acrylic templates and rulers because I know the impact that they can have for quilters.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I think one of the biggest things is that so many people have been very scared to free motion because they're scared to hurt their project. And I think you hit a really good point that rulers will really help you kind of do that free motion without feeling like giving you guided. It's the guided free motion. It's what we
Right.
said at the beginning, when we started the live today. It gives you the feeling like you can be confident in finishing a project and know that it's going to be done well. So, well,
Yes.
you have done that in such a great way. Tell us, how long have you been quilting for?
Well, I started quilting, let's see, back in 2006 when I moved from the West Coast to the East Coast. Prior to being a hobbyist as a quilter and then a professional quilter, I was a professional photographer as a photographer for the Los Angeles Times. I was part of the Pulitzer Prize winning team for the Northridge earthquake. And when I left the LA Times, moved to the East Coast, back to the East Coast, I was a international photographer and I had to get to know ladies in my new community. So I joined a group, a local church group, and that's how I got started quilting. And I
Oh.
fell in love with it. A friend
Mhm.
introduced me to quilt shops and I saw that blue wall of stencils. And I said, "Well, what are those for?" She said, "Free motion." I said, "Well, what does that mean? What is free motion?" So that's how my journey with free motion began.
Okay.
And she also introduced, you know how quilting friends are, they want to show you everything. So she brought me to a quilt show and I met a quilter and she said, "Do you know there's a ruler foot?" I'm like, "Ruler foot? What's that?" And that's where it started, from
Oh,
free motion to
wow.
ruler quilting. Yeah.
Okay. I love that. So that was when you kind of learned that maybe you didn't have to do the free motion part. Interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Um, yeah. No, that's really neat. So would you say that free motion is your favorite part of quilting or ruler work now, or what's your
Well,
favorite?
I think that we all have this season of growth where we learn and try a technique. You know, once we start
Mhm.
learning how to quilt, we learn that we have to quilt a sandwich, and we all begin with a walking foot. Soon we decide what other techniques can we learn, and free motion quilting is a natural progression from that. But now the progression is maybe walking foot straight to ruler quilting, guided free motion quilting, because of the multiple designs that we can quickly stitch. Free motion quilting is a skill that takes time, right? To
Mhm.
learn different designs. But with acrylic ruler quilting, ruler work, we can make those designs very, very quickly. I haven't abandoned free motion. I still love it. What I love to do now is combine all of those techniques together, which I think you saw a little bit of that in the trunk show. Matter of fact, I do have one of the classes that I'm teaching at the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza in September is a hexagon. I'm using your 3 set template set for the hexagon. And here's a little demo of me stitching out one of the designs I'm going to teach in the class. It's beginner friendly. You can quickly make designs with a hexagon, and then you can add free motion quilting while you're stitching out each hexagon. And I demo that in this video. I just show exactly how you can do it easily and quickly.
Oh, I love that. That is so great that you're able to show hexagons, because I do think that people love hexagons. I think it's such an easy way to be able to really do, I mean, potentially even edge to edge designs or border designs. And look at you even doing the fill in on that. That is that doesn't look like difficult free motion either, Dina. I think I could even maybe do that free motion.
Exactly. It's basically our stippling, right? Any
Uh-huh.
design that we want to stitch while we're stitching with an acrylic ruler, we can add that in. I think sometimes we forget once we start to learn a technique, we kind of put something else aside. But I say, take it out. Start using and combining all the techniques that you know to creatively quilt your projects.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so cool. So one of the questions that we love to learn is like, what would you consider your teaching style? And I think you've shared a little bit of that today and just kind of how you want to highlight and teach certain things. But how would you describe your teaching style?
I would say my teaching style is I don't want to give you a fish. I want you to be able to learn how to fish so that you can create and stitch and be creative once you learn the technique. So I'm really technique focused, and I gradually, slowly add different techniques that build on each other. So once you learn one thing, it's going to help you with the next, and then the next two are going to help you with the third. That's my technique.
I love it. Oh, and that makes so much sense. And I will say that's one of our focuses this year as our education team. We're really wanting to create more education that really does from the basics to the blocks to the borders to the edge to edge. So you can really take these and apply them to your own projects. That's been kind of one of our missions is to say, ultimately the goal of ruler work is to help you finish your quilt projects, right?
Exactly, exactly. It's one thing to learn how to stitch a hexagon, but how do I
Mhm.
put it in my quilt? That's one of the biggest things, whether it's free motion or ruler work. Ladies want to know, how do I go from practice to a quilt? How do I transfer a design that I can stitch on a whole cloth, but how do I get it into my pieced quilt? And so that's another big component of my classes when I teach in person, especially, is that you get a design packet, and that design packet always has block based designs, border designs, edge to edge designs, and sashing designs so that you can mix and match not only designs from one template like the hexagon, but you can mix and match other templates all in the same quilt because you've learned
Wow.
all four ways to stitch with that template.
That is so great. I love that. So, someone just asked, where are you currently teaching? How would they be able to sign up for that class?
That's at a show in Pennsylvania. It's this September. They can go to my website, which is right down below, machinequilting.live, and look on the events tab. It shows everywhere that I'm teaching. So coming up, I have the Pennsylvania National Quilt Extravaganza, and that is September 12th to the 15th. And I'm teaching with all Westerly rulers, the 12-inch arc, which is the power lines class you saw earlier, the hexagon, hex knot, want knot, and then we're doing a snowflake template. And in each of those, you're going to learn all those different techniques: borders, sashing, block base, and edge to edge. Each class teaches one template, but all four techniques. Then I am also teaching on a cruise in November.
Oh, good for
We have
you.
about 10 spots left. It's in November 8th. It's a 9-day cruise to the Caribbean, and there's one ruler class. Yes, it's echo quilting, straight line ruler quilting. So just go to machinequilting.live and you can see on the events tab the places that I'm teaching in person. And of course, you can click education to see the online classes that I have.
I love it. I would say that we want to see more ruler quilting cruises going on. So that's awesome. I bet you might even get a couple of entries into that one today. Well, another person, actually, a couple of people have asked, do you have any classes on the So Study University? Because as you know, so Dena got you've been working with us quite a bit. And we were doing a lot of education and sending you out to shows and stuff. Um, but I don't know that we've ever been able to get a Dena class on the So Study University, right? I don't think
Not yet,
so.
not yet.
No. So that's a goal because we have some people that are all asking, Do you have any? And when will she, maybe have a class on the university? Since we were doing a lot of work together, we have really put a lot into the university. So we currently have probably 300 plus classes on the So Steady University now. We've got, I think, probably 15 different educators that have contributed towards those classes. But it's what we learned is it's just a really great place where everyone can have their education, and really allow people to take advantage of really work education in one place. And so we would die to have some Geraldine Wilkins education on the So Steady University, if we can make it happen. So we'll definitely see what we can do to get something going with Dena on that. And I know I go back and forth. I hope it's okay that I've been referring to you as Dena. We have been working together for a long time, and so I often do use your nickname, but I definitely want to make sure that we call you by the name you would prefer. So um, well, we really, really appreciate you coming on live today and sharing all of your gorgeous work. Definitely check out her page, machinequilting.live. On her website, you can learn where she's going to be doing some of her education coming up. And so I think you shared one of your most interesting jobs, which was absolutely being the photographer. And I think that you have proven through your slideshow today what an incredible photographer you are. Um, but I do think it goes a long ways in being able to properly show a quilt and know how to display that in a way that folks can really see what you're trying to show them. And this is, just very evident in what you provided with us today, which is this stunning visual trunk show, um, of everything that you've done work-wise. And I know that this probably isn't even close to everything you've done because you were very active through COVID on your machine quilting live. Do you have a YouTube as well where you have some of that education?
Yes, I do. I have some
Mhm.
education tutorials, demos on my YouTube channel, Living Water Quilter. And I also go live every other Friday. Actually, it's the first and third Friday of the month. I go live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's called Quilt Conversations Live, and we talk anything quilting. Of course, I always bring it back to my two favorite techniques, free motion and acrylic, ruler quilting or ruler work.
Okay, I love that. So that's a live that you're doing every week?
The first and third Friday of the month.
First and third. Okay,
Hmm.
perfect.
First and third
So
Friday.
I got a little distracted because someone posted a message that is a great idea. They said we need to have a class on how to photograph a quilt and what lenses to use.
Ah,
That could be a cool class on the So Steady University because I think we all are always trying to show off our work or be able to, show people what we've done in a good way. And I think sometimes it doesn't pop on camera as well as it does in person. And I'm sure that lighting plays a huge factor in that.
it does. It does. And the fantastic thing now is that everything that you've seen was all taken with a cell phone.
No way.
The
Okay.
videos, yes,
Yes.
the photos, all cell phone.
Because your cell phone does have, I mean, most of the updated cell phones have
Yes.
amazing cameras in them. Okay, well, so that's an idea for a class, Geraldine, is that we would love to see a class on how to photograph a quilt. So we have this thing we've been doing for the last couple of years called our Westerly by Me calendar. And so in that calendar, we do a little contest where we have folks submit their projects throughout the year. And then we have our top 12 that make it into it, and everyone gets prizes and, all that good stuff. And I could see a class that gave them some tips for photographing their quilts. being really helpful for that. So that's just an idea.
Okay.
I love it.
Sounds
Well,
great.
thank you so much for joining us today, and coming on and sharing with folks your amazing abilities. You have definitely inspired and made a huge difference in sharing the Westerly ruler work line, and being able to really teach both ruler quilting but also free motion, because you were a free motion. Were you teaching free motion before, or?
Yes, that was
Mhm.
my main goal, was to help ladies with free motion. I think just like most ladies, we're in a quilt guild, and we'd have show and share, and I'd share my work, and the ladies would say, "Hey, how did you learn how to do that?" I said, "Oh, I just practice a lot." And then I decided I needed to learn about needles and thread because I just did the basics. And so as I started to learn and share it more and more, I was asked, "Can you teach a class?" So it did start with free motion. And then, of course,
Okay. Yeah.
ruler work right after.
Well, your free motion is stunning. And I would definitely say next level free motion there, Dina. Okay, so someone has a good question, because I'm looking at some of these pre-printed panels and thinking, where did she find those? So they're wanting to know if you have a collection of pre-printed panels that you like to choose from.
I design pre-printed panels for most of my classes. I've learned over the years, especially with quilting rulers, ruler work, that one, it's a technique class, and it's difficult to quilt a project while we're in the class. So a panel makes it simpler, and I keep it small, like 12 inches, no bigger than 14 inches square. So each class, this is the panel for the power lines, and maybe every year or so I might change into a new panel to give some options. Actually, I should say, I finally removed them from being class only. You would only get access to the panels if you were taking a class. I changed that last year, and I put some of my extra panels on my website. So if you ever are interested,
Oh,
you can get a panel. I have a few of them listed on my website. You just look under shop or something like that, I forget, and you just look for fabric panels. Mhm.
I love it. Okay, so do you have some online courses?
I do. I have a few online courses, and I'm in the middle of working on some more. Just sign up for my email list when you go to my website. I always
Mm-hmm.
offer education for beginners, for free motion quilting, for different things, like even just quilting, 10 steps to stress-free machine quilting, which was one of the things that came out of my Quilt Conversations live. Some of the ladies were asking, how do you get the results that you get with ruler work and free motion? How do you prepare your fabric? How do you press? And so from that, I created the 10 steps to help
I love
ladies
it.
see that it does make a difference how we start, even from prepping the fabric to stitching, how it influences our machine quilting results.
Very cool. Well, I'm just scrolling through your website, because I thought I would, head over there, since there's been lots of questions about some of those items. So there are a couple of different classes right here on our site that you can take advantage of. And then I think the shop, she's got the fabric panels. So these are some of the fabric panels that she's got available. Oh, so they're so gorgeous. So great. So on these fabric panels that you have available, do you provide them any kind of tips? Or is this fabric panel only, go for it?
Fabric panel only, go for it. But
I
basically,
love
if
it.
you follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, you will see inspiration for those
Okay.
panels.
Yeah.
So if
No,
yeah.
I was seeing that right here in that video you just shared with us. I see it, guys.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. One last question. Someone was curious, what do you use today when you're doing any kind of bigger projects? Do you do long arm work, or are you quilting your big stuff with your domestic machine? And if so, are you using a suspension system or some other form of being able to hold the bulk?
Good question. Most of my experience has been with a domestic machine. A few years ago, I did get a long arm. Right now, I'm using a sit down Q20. And I love the sit down experience. I don't have space for a frame. I do use a suspension system, which is basically a bungee cord with some clips, clamps, I should say, to hold the weight of the quilt. So, yeah, I do both. It just depends on the project. If it's a small project, I might use my home machine. A larger project, of course, I'm going to use my sit down.
Okay. Well, maybe we should send you a couple of our suspension systems to try out then. Because I don't even know. I mean, I'm assuming you're probably aware of our So Steady suspension system.
I think
Um,
I saw it, maybe last year when I ran into you at,
yeah,
BU.
yeah.
You gave me a little demo. Yeah.
So that's something that I can send you. And the nice thing about it is it is super portable. So you can take it anywhere if you're going on a quilting retreat, maybe on a cruise boat.
Ah,
If
cruise.
it's super, super, super portable, you can, fits really tightly in a suitcase. So I will, as a thank you for being part of this today, I will absolutely send you a suspension system. You can try it out and see if it's something that you might like for some of your events that you're doing
Alright,
because you're,
that sounds
yeah, a
great.
little bit more
Thank
portable.
you.
Well, thank all of the amazing folks that joined us today. We really appreciate you coming on and being part of our live and learning a little bit more about another awesome educator we have here with Geraldine Wilkins, and just a little history on how long we've been working together because it has been a bit. Yeah. So.
It has.
Well, we really, really appreciate you, your stunning work, all that you're doing out there in educating and keeping people excited about ruler work and getting them going with the Westerly rulers. And so I would definitely say check out our website, get on a cruise boat. I think it's going to be awesome. Or just see some of the other classes that she's got right there. But we'll hopefully maybe be able to team up and get Geraldine to share some classes for our So Steady University in the future too. So we'll see if we can work something out for all of you on that as well. Don't forget to like, comment, and share on our So Steady Facebook to be able to win that gorgeous, gorgeous new So Steady blue extension table for your machine. You get to pick what machine you put it on. And again, when we get to 500 likes, comments, and shares on that Facebook, this live event that we've done here today, we will go ahead and pick a winner. So again, thank you so much for being part of our event today, Dena, and being part of our interview series that we're doing this summer. I knew I couldn't do it without being able to share all of that you've done because you are actually one of few Westerly Design accredited teachers. I think we've still only got maybe 10 worldwide accredited teachers for Westerly Design. And, it's definitely a process and going through that. So we really appreciate you being willing to do that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I
Absolutely.
really, really love, as you can tell, free motion and ruler work, and I
Mhm.
appreciate the opportunity to share my passion with you and your audience and anyone who's in the chat right now and you like ruler quilting, you will continue to enjoy it as you take more and more of the classes through their university, at quilt shows, and don't forget to like, comment, and share to win that beautiful table.
Thank you. Yes. Excellent. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us today. We do have one more class coming up this week, and that is going to be focused on the new embroidery. It doesn't sound like you've done much embroidery. Do you have an embroidery machine, Dina?
Well, that's something that's new. I just got one about a year ago, and I'm learning how to
Okay.
do embroidery. I'm really enjoying it.
Well, I'm going to have to send you one of our embroidery collections too then.
Oh
because I would
no.
love to see what you can do with our So Steady Embroidery, where ruler work meets embroidery. And we're really trying to show people the opportunity of being able to combine ruler work and embroidery to finish your project. So quilting in the hoop is a big part of it, but there's also some stunning fill designs and stuff like that in the collections as well. So
Oh,
all
that
kinds of
sounds
stuff to choose from.
exciting.
I know. So we'll have to see more eye candy from Geraldine as she starts playing more. So.
All
All
right.
right. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us today. We will hopefully be announcing a winner in no time for that amazing blue acrylic table. So stay tuned for that, and have a wonderful afternoon, everyone. Thank you.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for having me.